So I told y'all I'm trying to be consistent. Hello. So afternoon, I am in the process of getting ready to go out. I had to run a few errands. So I'm about to run to the bank. I gotta get a money order, and then I gotta pick up the boys from school, daycare, and then I gotta go to the mall with my mother because my 6-year-old is going to his first like real birthday party. So his classmate, who he happened to have a crush on, is turning 6. So we're gonna go do some shopping. He wants to, pick out her gift because we ended up going to Target. What am I saying? We ended up going to Target, and the prices at Target are expensive right now. Either that, I mean, it could be, or right now I'm just being cheap and broke. I don't know, but it's expensive. Like, why does a jean jacket for a little 6-year-old or like a child cost like $25 and a jean skirt costs like $18? I'm like, ugh. I'm not trying to do that. I have 3 boys. I'm not trying to spend all the money right now. I'm not. Things are expensive and our pay is just not going up, right? So anyway, I figured I'll make this video while I get ready. We'll see how this goes because I've been trying to do this for a while now. This is like my sixth time making this video. All right, or my sixth what am I trying to say? Attempt. There's the word. Attempt of making this damn video. And see, this is why I make videos like that, because I don't know if I have like ADHD or what, because I keep on getting freaking distracted. Like, oh my God, it's driving me freaking crazy. So anyway, let me just get my little blush on. I think I have a thing for blush now. I used to not like blush, but now I am obsessed with blush. This is what I like to do my blush. I don't care what no one says. If the thing is too much, I don't care. I want to look as pink and rosy as I can. Oh, am I rosy enough? I think so. But then what I do after is I try to like tone it down a little bit because I know it can be like kind of overpowering, right? But trust the process, right? So I'll take a bit of my powder and just kind of like swipe it on it just to like kind of tone it down, but not that much, because again, I do want to look pretty rosy and pink. Like, I'm in my girly era to a certain extent where I'm like, I don't know, who am I? But anyway, yeah, so I wanted to make this video because in my first video, right, Exotic Coach United responded to my comment where I said, can y'all give me some suggestions, right? So she asked if I can make a video on the difference between having a black mom versus a white mom. Or, no, a black dad versus having a black mom, right? So for people who know, or people who have been watching my videos, I have a black father, right? And he's he's a black Caribbean, West Indian father. He's Ghanaian and Trinidadian. I believe Trinidad is considered like the Caribbean, and Guyana is considered like the West Indies, right? As far as I know, that's basically what my knowledge is of both countries. So, yeah. So I figure I'll start with the backstory of both my parents so you can kind of see how my upbringing is. So my mom is from Wisconsin, even though and she has like some her ethnicity is, I think, with French, Polish, French, German, English, Belgium, something like that. And my dad is, of course, Ghanaian, Trinidadian. But my mom was raised and born in Wisconsin, Green Bay, Wisconsin to be exact. My dad is from Georgetown, Guyana. And the reason how my parents met is because my dad came from Guyana and went into the Navy straight out of high school. And my dad was stationed in Wisconsin because he was getting his ship built. And my mom was at the time dating this white guy. We'll call him George. And they were just really like on and off, kind of like a toxic behavior where he was breaking up with her, getting back with her. She was just like over it. She was tired of it. And after like a few weeks before they broke up, George met my father at the club. And they were, they were cool. They were like friends, but they were cordial. And George introduced my mom to my now father, right? To my father. At the time, just some random guy. And I'll say the day before, or the day that George and my mom broke up, my mom was already like over him anyway, so she didn't really care. So she was like, okay, well, I'm going to the club. Because they were already on the way to the club, and he broke up with her on the way there. And she's like, well, I'm gonna still go. So he was like, okay, fine, whatever. And my mom ran into my father. And I guess my dad was like, oh, where's George? He was like, oh, we broke up. And my dad was like, oh, great. So it's kind of funny that George introduced my parents to each other. And it's like, see, I'm happy that George was being a dummy, because I probably wouldn't even be here right now. So, anyway, at the time, my paternal father, what am I talking about? My paternal grandmother was already living in Jersey. So when my mom and my dad got together, they, got married, they got pregnant. They got married a year later, but my mom got pregnant, and my dad brought her to Jersey, and that's when she had my sisters, right? So anyway, that's kind of how that's how they met. And now 39 years later, there's one of 4 sisters, and my sisters, between the 3 out of the 4 of us, gave our parents 7 grandchildren altogether. So, I feel like we're a pretty happy, loving family for the most part. Everyone has their issues, but for the most part, I think we're pretty like a great family. So anyway, now with this topic, right? So according to social media, there's this thing going around where if you have a black mom, then you're more, I guess, into your black culture, which is already like a weird talking point, because if you're biracial, you should be into both. But I guess if you're like really like have like that black pride, or like you're like that, oh, I'm black, then you're probably gonna want your biracial kid to be black too, right? Have that mindset. But I've been hearing that, right? So with that being said, with how I was raised, my sisters and I were always raised to believe that we are who we are, right? We have a mom and dad who are 2 different races. They're in an interracial marriage, and with that being said, you're gonna have biracial kids. So we were always raised as being biracial, nothing more, nothing less. And of course, to love both sides, and to love our cultures and our family, and to respect the people from our cultures, basically. So I don't think I had that mindset of like how they say, like, if you have a white mom, then you're inherently racist, and which is weird, because white men are the ones who started the one drop rule, who had a lot, like, who did the racism in America and the one drop rule with Jim Crow. So it's like, we're really gonna put everything on white women? Just saying, like, if you have a white father, you saying that you're not inherently racist? Even, that's weird. So that can be a thing, right? Whereas, like, patriarchy, misogyny. A lot of that could be like inherent misogyny too, where moms are blamed for like everything, right? Which pisses me off because I am a feminist, so it's like, let's not do that. So anyway, back to the topic at hand. I don't think there's a real difference, right? I feel like it's just based on your parents' mindset, right? Are they ignorant or not? Do they believe in the one drop rule or not? Because if they do, then you're gonna be raised to think that you're only black, right? But if you are not raised with that mindset, then you will be raised as being biracial, right? And 9 times out of 10, if you don't believe in that one drop rule, I feel like you're not really gonna hate on your white side, because from what I've seen with the black community specifically, because I was raised around black people mostly more than anything else, because my white side is from Wisconsin, so I don't get to see them as much as I like to, like how I did when I was younger, because back then I didn't have a job, right? So whenever it hit summer, we can just go over there for like almost a month and hang with the family during like between June going to July, right? So right out of high school, like once school ended, the next day we were on the plane heading to Wisconsin for about almost a month, and I enjoyed myself there. I loved my white side. You know, I never had any weird feelings towards them. I never felt like I was being treated as an other. I just felt like I was right at home. Because I actually went there recently, side note, February? I went around my kids' spring break, where they finally got to meet my kids, because, you know, just a lot of like COVID, and then my great uncle passed away from pretty bad illness, and it was just a lot going on, so it was just too much on my great aunt to have the whole family come up there at that time. So my mom was the only one that went up there, because that's her immediate family, that's her family right there. So we, you know, of course, from our family, we all sent support, and we wish we could have went up there, but it was so not say out of nowhere, but we didn't know when it was going to happen, so no one was prepared to go up there around that time. And I just had my baby, my firstborn at the time, and it was not time for us to travel when he was like 2-3 months old, so it was just too much going on. So anyway, we basically went there, and it was amazing to see everyone, and to see my grandma and my aunts and uncles, and it was just, and the kids got to meet their family their side of the family for like the first time in person, because of course you see them on FaceTime and talk to them on the phone, and so it was really nice. But anyway, where did I leave off on? I feel like I'm always doing this to myself. I get distracted and I go on a rant, and then I forget what I was talking about. So anyway, I feel like with the black community, they only like the biracials who hate their other half, right? That's what I've seen for the most part. Not say all, but there's the ones who I've seen online, like they'll say, oh, you must have a white mom if you claim biracial, which is weird, because like that's who we are, right? So, and then like if you claim that you're black, then they'll say that, oh, you must have a black mom, and now you're down, and you're one of us, right? Or you're one of us, because I've seen biracials who have black moms still get bashed for being half white, or being the preference of black men, right? So that's like just basically like a whole lot of like gaslighting right there, because it's bullshit. And I like to say that they can tell a difference, but in my experience, when people realize that I'm biracial, whether it's because of how I look or just from everyone talking, and they'll talk about, you know, race, and they might ask me about something, and I'll say, well, I can't really like fully answer because I'm not fully black. And then I'll mention like, oh, I'm this and that, so I can kind of like see it maybe from like both sides, right? That's kind of how my ideas come along, is that I see it from I'm on the outside. I can kind of see things from both sides. I feel like, because I'm really, really balanced in that way. So anyway, and then, So that topic gets on my nerves because now you have biracials attacking each other online. And it's mainly from the ones who have black moms. And I hate to say that because I don't like to separate us too much. But that's kind of what I've been seeing. Like, you have the ones who have black moms. Like, I think there's the video. Motivation Movement actually tagged the video. So if you want to go into her channel to see it, because I'm not that good at editing yet. So I'm going to figure that out. But there's a video where there's a black mom and she's kind of like doing like a voiceover, like a video about how her child is better because they have a black mom, and kind of like comparing them to biracials with white moms. And it's like, there's a stereotype to say basically about how biracials with white moms think that they're better, or how our white moms tell us that we're better. And it's like, in my experience, I never was taught that. I was always taught that I'm not better than anyone else and no one's better than me. Where we all bleed the same color and da-da-da. Like, of course, race is race, you know. We may all look different to a certain extent, but for the most part, no one's better than the other. So that kind of got on my nerves, because now they're trying to paint this stereotype that it's not even really true. Or they'll say that white moms are inherently racist, or that white moms can't do hair. Like, my mom does my hair. She's done my hair. She has even done black people's hair, where she learned how to retwist hair, because she used to work in a barber shop / loctician shop, and she learned just by watching them retwist hair, and mom's been doing that for years. So my mom is pretty, like, she's pretty cool like that. So I just feel like, of course stereotypes have some truth to it, because if not, where would the stereotypes come from? But to just act like that's just all of us is weird. Because how about for black women who divest? You know, if you hear their talking points of how much they hate biracials because they feel like we are the preference, or because of how black men compare them to us or white women, right? They could have that mindset of they feel inferior, or they have a hatred or some type of animosity towards us. How do you think they're going to raise their or treat their biracial daughters? Because I've heard from other biracials who have black moms that they were treated as other, or their moms never give them compliments, or, you know, just made them feel like shit for being basically being half white, or for having a certain hair texture, or a certain skin tone, or a certain phenotype, like, you know, like whether they have like light eyes or a small nose, or whatever is different about them that would have the mom feel, I guess, weird about it, right? Or even black fathers, how they might be jealous of their biracial sons, because I've seen that too, right? So it just depends on the parents. Like, are your parents ignorant? Do they hate the gender of the opposite race, right? Like, did the white mom hate black women, right? Or does the black woman hate white women? Like, if y'all have that type of mindset, then please do not interracially date, because that's toxic for the families of both sides and for those kids. Like, no one should have to experience that. And I feel like I'm all over the place, but that's basically my thing. It's like, I don't think there's much of a difference. And I don't know if this answered the question, but yeah, that's basically that's kind of how I feel about this whole thing.